right, y'all. So, welcome back to another episode of ItsPuddinsT. And I got some tea for y'all today. Okay, listen, this is my third attempt at doing this. You know, it might be more than three at this point because I had been sitting on this topic and wondering whether I was really going to do it or not. And then I just kept getting like, nudges to be like, yeah, you need to do it. And so I did. I did it on a, ooh, so I I recorded it on a different app, through a different source, which I'm not gonna name because it's a pretty popular source and I use it for a lot of things. So, and I can't complain. I already know it's just the energy, but for the first time, it actually acted up on me, and I did a whole episode, and it was a part one, and I'm feeling some type of way. I'm a little annoyed. I was like, okay, so it was a lot of things that a lot of distractions and barriers that got in the way beforehand, right? And it kept me from doing it really. And I was doing some other stuff. And so I decided to come back to it, long story short. And I'm just right now, I think I'm just like just having a moment of realization myself. And the thing is I played it light in that episode. So I guess maybe I shouldn't play it light in this one. I'm ticked off, man. I am so annoyed by that. But you know, I'm gonna let it go. Everything happened for a reason. I guess it's because this episode is gonna be 10 times better than that one. Um, but y'all, it was just so many things that just got away. Okay. Okay, I'm focused now. So yes. So let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk about spiritual attacks and spiritual bullying. Um, where do I start? First, disclaimer. I'm not only here to teach, I'm also here to learn. So if you've had any experiences in what I'm talking about, please share if you don't mind. Um, and if it doesn't trigger you or anything like that, 'cause I don't want anyone getting triggered. So also prepare yourself for that as well. But I feel like this message isn't going to be for everybody. It's going to be for a certain group of people. I might as well say. Probably more so fit into the chosen ones or those who are trying to get on that path. For the most part, I think everybody is though, right? I mean, I could be wrong though. Everybody's doing, stuff different, and all this other stuff, and uh, everybody's on their own divine time, and you know what I mean. So whenever you find this, I feel like that's when you're. Cause I don't know. Um, I've watched things before. I really knew what they meant, so I can't really say that or but for the most part, those of you who truly view this, you're here for a reason. It's pretty much what I'm trying to get to. So I actually didn't script anything for this particular episode because I channeled what was trying to come through. And I think that's why I'm even more annoyed. It's because if I just wrote down and that would have been different, I could have just read it back over, re-recorded the thing. But excuse me, I think that's spiritual birthday. Um, but uh I don't think it's one of those things that you can just script. I feel like what needs to come out will come out type of situation today. So this is most definitely gonna be channeled, right? Especially when we're talking about spiritual attacks. So because the energy's been weird, and I think I watched other readers like tarot readings, and they kind of been dealing with that too, having their devices all of a sudden the videos acting weird and flickering or whatever the case may be, or it's pausing and stuff like that. So I feel like there's something in the air right now because a lot of people are stepping up and taking charge, right? And this video, see, this is why I used the other one because what color is this on my lips? Bro, I turned the filter and everything off. My lips is supposed to be purple. I'm sorry, I'm just annoyed, like, because it's just little things, but this message is going to get out. Okay. So, I'm trying to go back. Okay. So, that's another thing about channel. I'm sorry if I feel a little scattered or seem a little scattered. I'm not. The energy's just, I won't say weird. It's just, it's wild. The energy's a little wild right now. And I think it's fighting back because this is important, and really it's not talked about enough, if you ask me. So let me so real quick, I'm gonna say what led me to this is okay. So I talked to an old classmate a few weeks ago, right? And we were talking about, like bullying in itself and the bullying that we experienced. And I experienced a lot of bullying growing up and in school and stuff like that. And I realized that the wound that I still had from that wasn't fully healed, right? And I think the part of me was having trouble because I allowed it. Like for sure, I allowed it because I'm not scared of anybody. First of all, I'm not quick to hurt nobody. That let's just put that. I'm not one of those people. So I had a tendency to be too nice, and I'm still working on that too when it comes to certain things, right? But I think, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of kids I went to school with because we were barely middle class. I mean, so I feel like there were a lot of students, and most of those bullies really just were down and out and had a lot going on in their household. So that really played a part because I'm an empath, so I feel it. I don't think I should have been in public school. I should have been in a small, tiny number of students around me with a social distance because I'm glad, thank God, I know better now when it comes to like groups and being around people, and I know how to, I know how to handle that or deal with that more now. It's still, but I love people. So, I mean, being a healer, or being in that anywhere near that field, spiritual advisor, yeah, and I love people. I'm not gonna sit up here. I'm not complaining. Even though I'm introverted, and I said that I think last episode. Yeah, so it doesn't bother me. It's just the energies. It's just a lot of energies, and you feel what people feel. So I think a lot of that played a part on why I did because I can, for the most part, I can kind of see why someone's being mean or nasty, and I can kind of see what's going on the inside, right? Like reading their mind. So I'm like, yeah, I'll let you live, because whatever. But I think for the most part it was because I allowed it. I think that's what it was. I didn't feel powerless. I think I dealt with more regret that I just didn't handle the situations because I know I could. And there were situations where I didn't let nobody slide. It's just they did too much and I had to handle it. So, but it's like, but after I would handle something, a lot of times I was like, man, I wish, like, could I have loved my way through that situation? Could I have been a little nicer? Some people, you just have to be their karma, though. Sometimes God sent you, okay? And they need to learn to listen. And you were the last person that they bullied or mess with like that. Or maybe they just needed that perspective in a physical manner. Sometimes I don't condone violence. I'm not saying that it's the answer. I'm just saying that sometimes you just have to go that route, especially because there were bullies that used to be physical. So sometimes you had to, you weren't trying to hurt someone. You just wanted them to leave you alone. And that's no different from spiritual bullying or spiritual attacks. It's just that 9 times out of 10, you just don't know where it's coming from or who it's coming from, depending on the situation. And so it sometimes you don't know it either. Sometimes you're spiritually attacking people and have no clue. Those if people knew better, I think, well, I don't think, I know for a fact that there are a lot of people that would change certain ways and grow in certain ways if they knew better. Because I had a lot of guilt from not handling situations better or being a little bit more violent than I needed to be. Not in the sense of like, I'm not saying like physical, whatever. Because if it ever got there, you really pushed it to go there. I'm just saying like, sometimes I talk trash to, whatever. And I'm like, well, maybe I didn't have to argue. You know what I mean? Like maybe I could have just used it maybe I should have hugged them instead. And this is more so like family or something like that because I love my family. So nowadays it's like I don't try to. I don't have the energy for arguing. If you think you're right, so be it. I don't care because I don't mind being wrong. I don't care about it. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. You can't know everything, bro. Like I know what I know and I know what I don't know for the most part. If that makes sense. So I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with you about something that I don't trust myself. Like, do you know everything you could know about this? I'm like, okay, then that's different. Okay, so anyway, so first let's talk about magic in general. I think we should just go over that. And I do have older episodes in my podcast here where you can, dip and dab, and I talk and touch on magic and stuff like that. But real quick, I just want to say that you all possess magic, whether you believe it or not. Everything, this is all magic. Everything around me, I'm magic. So it's like there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not too sure, like, well, I am sure. People, listen, no one's happier for you not to believe in magic than the person that's using it on you. So I think that's why they have it in the movies. And some people, they're taught this. They're taught to fear it. Like some people automatically fear a 5 point star, for example. What are you afraid of exactly? What do you think this symbol is going to do to you? This shape is going to... It's not the symbols. It's not. And there's a lot of symbols that have been used in an ill manner that aren't negative. It has these symbols, these tools, these things, these words. Magic is not something to be afraid of. You should be afraid of the person that's trying to use it in the wrong way. There's a big difference. I believe in using my gifts to heal. I want you to smile. I want you to laugh. I want you to have a good time. Not everybody's gonna get along. We don't necessarily have to though, but we can respect each other, and we don't have to necessarily utilize the same space either. Some people for you, some people aren't for you. It's just knowing the difference and respecting the difference, respecting people's differences. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and you're supposed to really be that way. To be honest, we weren't meant to all be the same. I love seeing people do things that I can't do. I love being amazed by people, and my algorithm, I'm really tight on my algorithm. I will hit not interested real quick if there's, all this other strife and other, because it's way more going on in the world than that. People are really nice to each other. So I'm not living in a fantasy or ignoring what's really going on. It's just that, why should I pay attention to any of that stuff when I don't have to, when I'm just using my thumb to scroll through, right? So, but back to it. So at the end of the day, first check yourself and see if you're causing yourself these afflictions, right? I think that's the first place that you should start. You really, really should start with yourself. If you find yourself talking about people all the time, that's a problem. If someone's not doing something to you directly, like, don't get me wrong, like me and my cousin was talking the other day, and we were just going over things from we talked for hours. So we were jumping from subject to subject. And if something comes up that happened, okay, cool, it happened. You talked about it, and then we moved on to the next subject. But to talk, say for example, if we talk to each other every day and you eavesdrop on us, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna hear us talk about just people. Like, we got better things to do. You know what I mean? And like I said, like, I catch myself, like, if I'm scrolling down my feed and I see something, I make sure, like, because I can catch myself judging or saying something about somebody. It's like, whether they can hear you or not, they can still, that energy don't go nowhere. Like, listen, well, no, I take it back. Sorry, I'm a mistake. That energy does go somewhere. It goes to them. It can come back to you, or it can stay on you. Like, you have to just be careful. Like, why am I judging this person? That's what I have to ask myself. Like, why did you just do that? And then I'm not gonna lie. After sitting and reflecting, I realized that I do treat people how I treat myself, and I'm still catching myself and checking myself when it comes to judgment, because I still have a little bit of that when it comes to me as well. Like, I judge myself a little too much sometimes. Like, I don't expect perfection out of no one. So why would I expect perfection out of myself? So I just have to really, I had to really sit and reflect, and I check myself consistently. I believe in accountability. So you have to be careful with that, because that is also a spiritual attack. Now, that's why I say if people knew, then they would, reconsider or think about it, because sometimes people, it could be you or the other person when y'all enter the room or you are around each other. And it's like, either you get a feeling or they probably get a feeling. Like, sometimes you be like, why they treat me like that. So they don't even know me. We just met, and I seen the look on their face. So don't get me wrong. Some people are haters, they're jealous, whatever the case may be. But sometimes people feel it on you when you've been talking about them. And that's whether you're the one that's doing it or whether they're the ones doing it. You have a little feeling. You probably feel that too. Like you have to really use discernment, man. Because if that is you, say for example, you didn't say anything about them, but they feel that on you, that you're the type of person that once they leave the room, that you'll probably start talking about them, then you can't fault them for rolling their eyes or feeling some way as soon as they meet you. Like, that's why I say check yourself first, make sure you're good, then you evaluate everything else on the outside of you. Right. So once you've done that, once all of that, like I said, I had to go all the way back to elementary school where I felt like it started for me, where I started allowing, bully, because I had a fire in me now. I had a light in me. And then certain things took place, and then I ended up dealing with depression and anxiety, right, at a very young age. So I think I was probably like, it's hard to say, maybe 8 or 9 years old when it just kind of like depression kind of just like hit me. And I know that's wild to think I was that young. Of course, I didn't know what depression was at the time, but I know I remember like it was yesterday. I remember that my energy shifted completely, right, one day. So it's it's things like that. Like you have to just go back and reevaluate. So when we talk about after you've checked in with you, the outside part. Now, this is where it gets a tad bit sticky because there will be signs, and a lot of those times you're gonna feel. Now, a lot of times it be because you don't want to accept it. Because for the most part, just really sit and consider like how many people are you around besides coworkers or going to work, where there may be certain strangers or people that you encounter. Um, and you can't really tell where these attacks are coming from or where this bullying is coming from because people smile in your face. That's why you need to be careful. That's where you need to be careful is the people that smile in your face and seem like they don't do none of that. They would never do anything like that. And that's another problem with the world is because a lot of these people, like people see me where, I may wear certain things. I make certain things, right? Or I do tarot or whatever the case may be. Like you see my stones back here, certain little things you see. And then some people, if they see that, they be like, oh, maybe you, okay, let's nip this in the bud. It ain't evil. Okay. Like I said, it's the person's intentions. My intentions are always good. I don't want to cause nobody no hurt, no strife, no nothing. I don't need to lie to you. I don't need to manipulate you to get what I want. None of that. If it ain't for me, I don't want it. First of all, let's go ahead and nip that in the bud. I don't want nothing that's not for me. I don't want your nothing. I never take from you. I don't want to take anything from you, whether it be energy, none of that. I don't want it. And usually the ones like me, us, you know who we are. We weigh our stuff, you know what I mean? Like usually we're the main ones trying to heal the world, trying to spread love. Like we're not faking it for nobody. We're being our true selves, our authentic selves. And it's like, I'm not even worried about you. I didn't even see you. Because I know how to read a room. I don't care nothing about that. And even if you upset me, that's the last thing I'm gonna do is to think to use any of these things. These were meant to heal. God gave me the talent to heal, to entertain, to do my best. Like, let me tell you something. I will always do my best to make you better, right? And I accept the same in return. I don't. I just don't believe in hurting people. Do you know how much it would take for me to want to cause like harm to you? And if I do, it'll be like with my mouth, bro. Like I can speak and have you and plant seeds. Whether you feel it then, you're gonna feel it later. You're gonna feel it. Like that's the last thing. I never do that. I know they say never do never, but no, I don't play like that. I just don't because God didn't give me these gifts to misuse them. You know what I mean? So no, that's just He didn't build me like that. My grandma didn't raise me like that. So I don't need to do any of that. So And that goes for a lot of us. That goes for a whole lot of us. You know how many friends or people I've met in this niche or that got, similar, whatever, because we notice each other when we're out too, and we'll turn to best friends real quick. But of course, you can't mess with everybody. So sometimes it's just in passing, or maybe you go to a little shop and you want to get you some sage and candles and stuff like that. Like, and you meet your familiars there too, type of situation. Like, all of us we're not harmless. I never tell you that. We're not harmless. The thing is, we're protected. Like, we're when you do right, God protects you. Like, the divine is always going to be there. So it's like, what I don't need to do nothing. I don't need to do shit to you. I'm not gonna waste the energy. Okay. I got things that I want to do, and I'm going to go. I got other stuff that I'm trying to do, and I'm not going to mess that up by one little petty little argument or a little run in with you. Nobody worry about you. And I'm speaking for all of us when we say that. No one's worried about you. Now, I can't say that those same people not sometimes won't, resort to aid, and I ain't judging them either because I don't know what you did to them. I'm just saying, me personally, personally, that's just not, it's just not my forte. So don't be afraid. Don't be so scared. Like, and a lot of that fear was passed down to you anyway. How many of you actually had a bad experience? Like, how many of you actually experienced something? Because, some people, like, I ain't gonna lie, it's so funny when my family first found out now. I was into they was like, so you will like, I mean, at the very beginning, right before I barely knew what was going on. So they really didn't know. They were like, because I just busted like, so I'm not Christian, not Christian anymore. Like, I'm not too. So it's like I wasn't just. It's not something I just decided to do like all of a sudden. It took time to get there, and I was like, I don't claim those particular titles, be it because and it's like that doesn't mean that you don't believe in God. That's another thing. People are just like, wait a minute, so you don't go to, especially if you come from like a Christian family, like you don't go to church or anything or anything. And I'm not talking about my family in particular. I'm just using it as an example because my family don't judge like that, and a lot of them go to church. A lot of Christian family members I have don't go to church. So I'm not talking about them in particular, but just for example, they're like, well, some people like, you don't go to church and you don't believe. Why does that? No, I don't have to go to church believing God now. I don't have to go to church believing good. So it's like you can't do that. Like, you can't say a Muslim is this because they believe in something different from you. You can't say people who study the Bhagavad Gita and all these things and Krishna consciousness, like all of these. And mind you, I study all of these things. All of y'all are saying the same exact thing. Everybody is actually in agreement. It's just different names. The stories are just a tad bit different, which happens when you have different people telling the same story. People perceptions are different. You know what I mean? So I feel like we should get that same grace. Like, we should get that same understanding. I don't have to believe in the same exact thing you believe in. Just because I don't doesn't make me evil. Just because I wear certain things or I do this or I do that or carry myself a certain way or use tarot cards. Child, I'm trying to give you advice. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to harm you. So some people need to get off their ignorance, right? So, but as far as like noticing these things, like these examples are just a few. Like, you should sometimes those same people that's accusing you of being evil, they're actually the evil. I've met some Christians that, whoo, my word. I mean, it's just sometimes it's just a person in general. It doesn't matter, like, because a lot of these people claim these things and say they believe in these things, and they don't show it. They don't show it. A lot of people, you can't move them. What they believe is what they believe, and they're gonna do what they have to do in a good way. Is what I'm saying. Like, they're just gonna ignore you and keep it pushing. So, but as far as the bullying and the attacks go, look, a lot of times it be those people. It be those ones that's knocking what you're doing. It be those that's talking trash about what you're doing. It be who you probably least expect. But it's something in you though. It's something in you that tells you this ain't right though. Something don't feel right. Something don't feel right. And the more you lean into that and you get out of your head of what the world try to make you believe or try to make us believe that these things aren't happening. They are most definitely happening. You have people that evil eye you. I ain't gonna lie, some people do it intentionally, some people do it unintentionally. You have to make sure you're one of the ones that's not doing it at all. Unintentionally, intentionally, make sure you're not the one doing it because you don't want that to be sometimes it's just karma. You swear up and down somebody doing something. No, you're doing it to you. You are. Okay? Stop lying to yourself. It's you. Sometimes it's you. And then as soon as you nip that in the blood, that's not you, that's where this other part comes in that I've been trying to avoid this whole entire time. But it's usually the one close to you. Like, which I just listen. Ooh, now I'm starting the channel. Hold on. Now I'm really starting the channel. So who is it? Who are you aligned? Because I feel like whoever this message is for, it has a whole lot to do with the fact that you are, unfortunately, to your own degree, allowing. You have some type of acceptance that you've had, especially like listen. I know we've all by now are familiar with narcissists. Uh, you need to be careful with that because a lot of them practice too. You got to be careful with people that practice. You got to be careful with people who just don't wish you no good whatsoever, is what I'm saying. Like I said, some people do this unintentionally, and you really have to make sure that you're paying attention. You need to observe. You really need to observe. Everybody's not for you. Like, start piecing some stuff together if you feel like you're being attacked. So, think about, like, okay, how does it affect your actions and the things that you're trying to do, right? Uh, do you feel like I'm doing everything I possibly can and this is still stuff still not working? You have to be more mindful. I'm gonna hold back a little bit because I knew earlier that it was gonna have to. This was going to have a part two, and I might invite somebody on the podcast. I might invite a guest on to bounce some ideas off of too before I really go in about this subject because it can. That's why I said I want to. I still end up playing it like this episode because I don't want to discourage anyone or scare anybody. So I want to plant these seeds first because you really need to check yourself first because you have to take your time and evaluate certain things in certain situations before you can just start accusing people of spiritually attacking you. But you know who's jealous and you know who your haters are. But a lot of times you don't. A lot of times you're in denial of who might be doing so. Like if okay, like say for example, if you're working on something and every time you tell this person about it, even if they fake and pretend like they have it for you, if it just fails, if things just go bad and it's just weird, it might be them. Like, I don't want you to be paranoid though. Now, don't just be accusing people and don't think too much because when you're looking for something, you're gonna find it. And so I don't want you to be looking for like you have to listen. You have to listen to your intuition. Pray for it to be revealed to you. God will reveal it so fast. But just know that when you pray for it to be revealed, that you have to be prepared for that too. Because sometimes it's not who I'm getting to here. I'm channeling and they telling me that it's two groups. Because you have the ones that have no clue, and then you have the ones that absolutely know, bro. And it's like, what do? You go with the flow. Do what you have to do to protect yourself. If you already know certain things, then do those things. If you don't, research them. And I was gonna like list a few things and do that, but something's telling me to wait. Something's really telling me not to go in and just kind of hold back just a little bit. And I don't want to overwhelm you either. But I can honestly tell you it's nothing to be afraid of. You may need to every day, you may need to pray to whoever you pray to. However you do that, prayer is people are so that's another thing too. They like all these, people have old ways of looking at things, except for like, but people be scared to go back to these ancient ways that were used to heal us and to help us. That's weird to me. But the fear, y'all keep the fear going though. That old ass fear, y'all keep that going. Y'all keep the taboos and shit in the air, but you won't like child. Okay, so anyway, sorry. I don't want to get off the subject because I tell you my ADHD had me. So I'm trying to stay focused because I really didn't write it down this time. So And I'm channeling a lot too. And I'm trying to pick and choose like, um, because I don't want to scare anybody. Because you may feel tense, especially if this may have popped up in your algorithm by chance. You may already have an idea. So this is the group I'm talking to that has a great idea. Observe, be prepared to find out, and be prepared. You have to prepare yourself to deal with whoever it is, no matter who it is. Um, I feel like this group though, oh, you really, really, you do know. So that's the first step is knowing and figuring that part out and accepting it. Because a lot of you just haven't accepted who it is. Like that's your biggest hater, bro. I'm here to tell you, whoever you think it is, that is, you're right. That's your biggest hater. And for those of you, don't force this message to fit. Like you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. Uh, yeah, it's them. It's them. And you need to work on moving forward. That's why I say everything starts, spiritually first, right? So mentally, go ahead and decide that you're just going to move forward, and that's what it is. And they probably not gonna stop. They probably not gonna change, but that's not your problem though. Them not changing or them not stopping, that's not your problem because God always has your back. The divine is always there. The universe don't play about you. Your ancestors don't play about you. Whatever you believe in or calling your angels, none of them. None of your spirit guards, none of them play about you. So I I, I can't push enough for you not to be afraid because it wouldn't have been revealed to you if that was the case either. You know what I'm saying? Some people they find stuff out later on after they're long and gone, because that's how it was meant to go. But I wasn't called to do this episode for no reason. So I mean I do wish you all the best, you know? Because it's not easy sometimes. And learning these things and growing and realizing what's a facade and what's not isn't easy either. And when you love someone, that is serious. I don't in any capacity. When you love, you love. You can have a pet ant and fall in love with that ant, and if something happened to it, yeah, it'll sadden you. No one else would get it. You probably get picked at for it, but a life is a life, bro. I love life. I respect life. I respect pretty much everything on this realm in this, on this planet, whatever, this dimension, whatever we want to call it these days. I love life. Like if I can help it, I won't even kill an insect, bro. I'll take it outside if I can help it. But I feel like it's a violation once you cross these lines. But I tried though. It's my point. Like I just love life. I love people. I love animals. Everything that God has to offer. I respect it and I have a love for it. So it's like, and being an empath, I feel everything. I feel everything. So if you are also an empath, that could really be a struggle for you because I think that's a lot of reason why I never really been the vengeful type. It's because I'm still going to feel some type of sadness that I even had to go there. Like if we like physical fights and stuff like that, I've always cried afterwards because between us, like I always cried after because it's like I really didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? And it's like that's why I say I question myself. Like, could I have just? And I'm not gonna lie. I've solved situations by loving people through it. I've solved situations by not being upset, and I can honestly tell you, it's a physical. I physically felt the difference from wanting to throw hands with somebody, and as opposed to okay, I see that they're upset. Instead of us just yelling back and forth, I want to just love on this person real quick. Now, when it don't work, I'm no fool. If I still got to smack, then that's that. That's just how that goes. You can't expect someone to not, retaliate either. Now we can't do that. So, I'm gonna make another part. I'm gonna make another part where I get more down to it. You know what I mean? But for now, my OCD kicking in. I'm sorry. But for now, and I keep talking because I feel like I might be channeling, I might be missing something that they're trying to tell me to say to you. If so, I don't know. Maybe I have to just write it down and try to share it with you that way. But I hope these seeds that I planted flourish. And I really wanted to go hard in this one, and I was upset that all the little stuff was trying to keep me from putting this message out. But I think I planted enough seeds for right now, and you got the point for right now. So once you get the hang of that, once you observe the situations, observe yourself first. Yeah. So you know, once you get acclimated with that and you get comfortable with that, then you can go to like that next stage. 'Cause I feel like a lot of you too are like, well, what should I do? Um, Most definitely talk to the divine first. Check with God first and foremost. Um, because I'm just a messenger. You feel me? So make sure you do that first, and make sure you take your time too. Don't be in such a rush to try to figure it out if you know you're not ready. Just take your time, like just like slowly reveal it to me or remind me, because a lot of you've seen it. They've been playing in your face this whole entire time. So that's whether you see it or whether you didn't see it already, or know who it is, or whether you don't know who it is. Um, I don't think this is some stranger that you've never met. And some of you, a lot of you, there are people too that you've never even laid eyes on, and there might be some attacks going on there. But that's why I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to cover that in particular in part two for sure, because that's a whole nother can of worms that I have to discuss. So I'm gonna leave it here for now because it's already longer than I anticipated. So man, this one's gonna take a while, but it was meant to be. So I'm not, no, I'm not stressing it for real. But yes, I appreciate you viewing. I appreciate you, tuning in today. Especially if you stayed to the end, because I know sometimes I can just be all over the place. So hopefully I didn't confuse you. And if I did, just comment and ask me, check in. So yeah, uh, and if you don't want to wait to part two and you have questions, go ahead and ask, and I'll do my best to work that out with you. Um, so yeah, I think that is it for now. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your evening, whatever. I hope you have the day that you deserve. And until the next episode, peace out. Hello. I might have to do that over. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay. I'm not doing that over. Okay. Peace out.